Hello, 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 divine ones. Welcome. Today, the guides are going to be sharing a message and an activation. And the message they're going to be sharing today is called Light in the Dark. What it means to be a light in the dark. They want to talk about sharing your gifts and the beautiful brilliance that you are, which is much needed in this physical world. They're going to talk about the expression of divine, which you are. You are an aspect of divinity, meant to be expressed through a physical form. And they wish to talk about this today along with an activation. And as always, their activations are always just a remembrance of the truth of who you are and the beauty of who you are, regardless of what you see in the mirror or think, in those times when you think negatively about yourself. Because none of that is true. You are beautiful, brilliant, and an aspect of divinity that is much needed now and wishes to be expressed through you or what you call you. Manifesting light into the physical form, physical world, through your physical form into the physical world. Okay, so that's their message today. And if you're open to receiving this and the activation, which they tell me is going to be powerful. Okay, so if you're open to this, please find a comfortable position and we'll begin. And as always, the guides like to greet you and harmonize energy with you. Because they say, we are always harmonizing to something. Whether we realize it or not, we are always an energetic match to something. And we are calling forth the life that we see before us, the sights that we see and our experience of life based on our vibration and what we're harmonizing with. And sometimes we're harmonizing without realizing it. They're saying a lot of times we're harmonizing without realizing it. And this is a purposeful harmonization where we harmonize energy together. So your heart, our heart, one heart. Dear ones, we wish to connect with you to create the optimal energy exchange and energy frequency for this message to come forth to be received by you into your heart, beyond your intellect. And through our words, you may intellectualize them. But the vibration that we bring and the harmonization that we do together is known by your soul. It is known by your true essence. You may call it what you wish. But this is an inner knowing that is known by you and has always been known by you. And this is the tone that we bring, the frequency that we bring, the frequency of truth. Because what is true is always true. It is never dependent upon somebody else's idea or belief about whether or not is true. It has always been true and timeless. You may call it supreme, you may call it source, you may call it God. You may call it any word you wish, because words do not accurately describe it and never can. It's an experience. And we wish very much for you to remember this, this truth, as who you are. Because this is what's going to change your world. Because indeed you always engage in an eye for an eye. And you think that you can change your world with a war against something. But you cannot war your way to peace. And you can't, a war against anything is a war against yourself. And you cannot find peace here. You never will. But there is peace to be found. There is peace to be realized. And it is you. And this is why sometimes it's hard to find, because you're always looking somewhere else for it, when actually it's right here, right now. When you put on your boots and your coat and you go on a quest, excuse me, looking for something that you already are, you spend much time searching, and you may do this. It's all part of an experience, a journey. Sometimes you might call it that. However, we wish to guide you back home. Hang up your coat and boots and settle in to this peace that is always residing right here, right now, and is in you and is actually you. It's both of these things. It is you, and it is in your physical form. It permeates everything. And this is you. So we wish to harmonize with you, because this is what we wish to harmonize with. These ideas, you could say, hold a vibration. And truth, is beyond any idea. And you see, when the ideas fall away, it's no longer heavy. So what keeps you dense while you are in a physical form, which is a dense body? So another thing that keeps you dense or keeps your vibration lower is your ideas and beliefs. And now we wish to remind you of the truth of who you are, so you may move beyond all of these preconceived ideas and beliefs that you have, that are keeping you very heavy, you see. And it is the moving beyond these ideas and beliefs that brings forth the light. That is always here, but it is shadowed by the conceptual mind, and Ishima Kurasa by ego, and Isamikia Makarasa by thoughts, ideas, and beliefs. And our message is one of laying down in Isimikia Makarasa, an offering, if you would, and Isimikia Makarasha, and in exchange to know the truth of who you are and have always been. You see, it is like an offering, and all the aspects of you that you think are good, are bad, all of your ideas and beliefs, all the things that you have done that you maybe don't feel proud about, and things that have been done to you that you might feel both ways, that you have done or have been done to you that you feel shame about or guilt about. All of it we wish to lay down. Samikia, all of it is an offering. You see, it's a divine offering. Why? Because every aspect of you, even ego-created aspect, while not the truth of who you are, is still seen as divine. Love is the only answer. Love is the only healer. You cannot not love. All aspects of self. There is no room for shame here or guilt here. You may have them and hold them as long as you feel it necessary for you to do so. We don't ever tell you what to do. Osana tarakana sanichia makora sopaya shinakara sai shinakoro sokoto sonia taishinaga. But to realize the truth of who you are, to know it, inner knowing, you must make an offering. And the offering is all that you are and all that you believe. In exchange, all that you truly are. Has room to spring forth. Excuse me. And so we wish to harmonize with you our energy together now. And we bring forth then message and we bring forth activation and activation and so you may be the light that you are in the times that you sit in which can seem quite dark at times. We will talk about this more, Anasimika, but now we harmonize. If you are open, Anisia, please say yes. Utraya makana sakara, set the intention. Utreikia makara, to connect. Inisio trokamaya traikanaisai. Excuse me. Anikiatr kino troko, ayasakate shialai troko, aimatrkarase etroshialai, laitanosho amakaiso. Shoki amai kanosotria, trok, anasaka trok. Anasotro, aisayetro, atria shokiama traikine so also I say. Show I say, show I make in a sotoro, I can suchi, I kini ot the wine time chaquentanchi, I kino troka sakias, there is a thread. In isio tanamaya troquaya tekinesa, we are always together. In ishiama karasa, asakarato rokarasa tashinikia makara, intertwined. And isio trokamaya trokushkora. Bound atarikiama karasakiana kara by love inishioma karasakira the thread of love and the thread of truth and a siotoromaya kai so like an so I can I show and I saw it kind of sway koto shomai atakai se hu hasanikioto kosayete kisinioto komaya tashi akasanishi. They wish to do a clearing now. Atihia somaya trokosamai karaso etashe eki a so and a sea ishia and a so it koso and yet kosi aichi ai utai shu and I say as social. That was a quick energy clear. And now they like to hug. And I say you may hug them back, or to connect with them in any way that feels authentic for you. Ini so turusho ameyananda chkarayo koso uti aiwai tanai saisho. Ilai atarana show ame kenai I shailai show. Konotoroko also. Asani maturushka may say kenasakara. We're so overjoyed. Anisia mayacho to share this Amakiana Sono Chikaramaka energy with you. Amakana Sikia Sokora energy exchange. And Isime Toroshamaya Naikana Sananonomashaya Shakuromaya Taisanaka. We are so grateful. Amane Siamakara for your willingness, Amakia, to know life beyond what you know today. Anasini Amakarasa, because indeed this is in fact Omayana Chia Makarasani Kiamaka, the requirement for your world to change. Inicio makarasake individually and collectively. Inicio trokomaya tarene sia natai shinio makanasaya chikono masaya shikara. Inicio trokorso, right now you look upon your world as if it's anasakoraskoro nichia makarasa broken. So many systems, corruption, hierarchy, and some people with, some without, and inequality, people fighting, and most of you can agree that you do not wish this to be. You wish for something different. However, you must be different. And we will explain this. Because this isn't like a self-help. Like positive thinking your way to a better world. This is a willingness to step into the truth of who you are, the light that you are, and to bring it through your physical form and into this world. And as we spoke earlier, it has a requirement, and the requirement excuse me, is an offering. And the offering is all that you believe you are. And everything that you have built. And we know that this can seem scary and maybe even impossible. But we say to you, the same way as anything you first did you thought would be impossible and now is possible, because here you are doing it, this is the same. You can move beyond the ideas and beliefs that you currently hold, and beyond beliefs altogether. You might ask yourself, well, who am I if I'm not these things? If I don't have these beliefs and ideas, who am I? Like, how do I know myself? So we say, aha, you see, we don't want you to know anymore. Although we use words to share this message with you, we would rather not. And one day there will come a time where your language will be like is it obsolete? It's like obsolete. It's like gone. Because the things that you give meaning to and the labels that you give things are not accurate to what they are. You use them as a convenience, which is fine. But one day you will move beyond all of this. And the limited way that language keeps you tethered to this dense experience in a human form. In the third and fourth dimension. And there are far superior ways to communicate beyond your words. But you hold much value on words and language and like public speaking, and we don't say anything negative about this. We say it's one way and it's a way you do now, but this will not always be. Your times are changing, and they're changing rapidly now. And some wish to get on board, Anasana Shimakara, the train, if you would, Asanikia, and some resist it a lot. Inisimakara much. And you might go back and forth between these two things. Inishioma kanasani chikarasani kia makarasa shinokoroso shiakaya sakarasa shiakanasa asanamakia makarasa. We ask that you bring all aspects of self as an offering. And like you would set fruits and vegetables and rice on a like on a spiritual altar, and you may put deities and things on this altar, and whatever you put on this altar. And instead we say, I mean, you may still put whatever you like on whatever altar, but instead of this, we say, bring all that you are. This is the offering. This is the gift. There is no greater offering than this. Your pain, yes, we said your pain. And your sadness, those things that you stuff in the basement that you don't want to look at, those aspects of self, bring them up. Offer. All the aspects of self that you have created that create self-importance. And these are my good aspects of self. Because neither is accurate. And you wish the good aspects of self to be in truth. These are true about me. And these negative ones, well, you might think they're true, but also you might not want to think about them at all. And we ask for all aspects of self to come to the altar. And all these aspects to be re-known through the eyes of love. Through the inner knowing and inner seeing. Through inner knowing and inner seeing, all of these aspects of self are transformed. Transmuted. They are lifted. Because even aspects of self that you celebrate, you might in one respect want to say that aspects of self that you celebrate are of a higher vibration. And we would say yes, but also we would say not quite. Because they are still connected with false ideas and beliefs about who you think you are. So there's still a dense energy. But when all aspects of self can be seen, the good and the bad, and what you would call the ugly, and they say nothing is ugly, but when you see the good, the bad, the ugly, and you see it all for what it is, through the eyes of truth, through the eyes of love, it changes it. And it changes your experience of it. It doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It doesn't mean that you didn't experience it at that time, whenever you experienced whatever you bring as an offering. Excuse me. It means that when it is seen through love, and it's like a whole new dimension of it is seen. You were only looking at it straight on or from the side, but when it's seen through inner knowing and inner seeing, and through love, you can see the totality of it, the wholeness of it, and the whole being that you are. And all aspects are divine, even the ones that you would like to shun, because you cannot do this. And as we always say, you can do whatever you want. However, you cannot do this. Because if you judge yourself or others, you're holding judgment. If you are thinking negative thoughts, then you're thinking negative thoughts. You see, like, it's like, if you're eating cookies, you're eating cookies. If you're eating corn, you're eating corn. You're going to get the result of that. You cannot eat cookies and not have all the substance of cookies in your body, in your being. And we say, in addition to this, and please consider this when you consider food, when you consider anything, not just food, the things that you put in your sense organs, all your sense organs, your music, your written words, books, so whatever you do, it is part of you, vibrationally, and it is, you're so connected, you can't even imagine. Because those words are not just the words that you're reading and that you have an idea and belief about based on your past ideas and beliefs of what the words and language mean in the newspaper or the book you're reading. It's also how it is being printed, who it's being printed by, how it's being touched, the thoughts and ideas that were coming into play as it was being printed, the trees, the ink, the rain that falls, that feeds the trees, that makes the paper, like everything. Like, you cannot run from anything. And this is why it's so important that you bring it as an offering, because you cannot run from it. So you have to integrate it as a part of a whole experience and a whole being that you are. You're your whole being. You're so, and I have no word for this. They show this to me often. And I feel this, and I have no word, no English word to tell you how amazing you are, how amazing. You are a cause for celebration. Not the you that's in the mirror. Yes, this too, but this is not the you that we speak of when we speak of the you that is cause for a celebration, because we do not wish to feed the ego anymore. It's already very hungry. But the truth of who you are is magnificent. And yes, all aspects of self are also magnificent as well. And when they can be seen through the eyes of love, they can be transformed. And this is the thing about war, and this is the thing about fighting and picketing and rioting and trying to Eriskoro karasaka conquer each other. Anisia Tarashkana Masana Karasa, okay, Asanikisikoro, you will set your bomb, Asakara rocket, something. Sakara, well, I'm going to set mine. Inisina Taroshama Karasa, and we're going to use fear, Anasema Kanasa, Kiana Sakarasha, with our hand over the button, Anasea Troma Karasa, I'm going to push it, I'm going to push it, Amasena Karasa, nuclear war, I'm going to push it, and Natarakana Sakiana Masaka. And you really can't do this. And you know this. But not everybody knows it. But everybody knows it. And we cannot judge it, and we cannot judge the people that don't realize this, because then we are doing what they do. So you see, we are holding the same tone. We are holding the same war. Just because our hand isn't over top of the button, because we don't have the power, or we view we don't have the power because we are not in power. We're not a political figure. Doesn't mean you don't have power. You have a tremendous amount of power, and it is your light, and it is far more powerful than the darkness. And it's far more. And the only thing that is required by you to ignite this light, so to speak, and to bring it forth through your physical form and into this manifest world is the willingness to know yourself beyond what you've known before, and beyond your ideas and beliefs that you have known about yourself, or the self you believe you are, and the willingness to make an offering of all of those beliefs and ideas. And so an example of this is you feel bad about yourself, and something comes up and you feel guilty about something, or you feel shame about something, or you feel bad about something. Instead of feeding that back to yourself, you see ego feeds itself this way, and it's very sneaky. But your pain, your guilt, your shame, and is food for your ego. And instead of feeding yourself, when you feel bad about yourself, whatever it is, or you feel afraid about something, or worried about something, instead of eating it, consuming it, brewing it within yourself, you bring it as an offering, and you say, I don't need it anymore. And I needed it then, and whenever I created it, I used it, I believed it, it served me then. It doesn't serve me now. And so I offer this fear. I offer this aspect of guilt about this situation, shame about this situation, and whatever it is, I offer it. And I am willing, so these are the words, I offer it, and I'm willing to know myself without it. I'm willing to know myself beyond it. I'm willing to know myself beyond this worry, beyond this fear, beyond this shame, this guilt. I'm even willing, we know this might be a hard one. Excuse me, I'm willing to know myself beyond this fancy title that I have. I'm willing to know myself beyond. So when something good happens, somebody praises you, somebody thinks you're an amazing person, or you do something and you think it's amazing, you offer this as well. This is also an offering. I am willing to know myself still beyond this, because I am still beyond the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you're never ugly. They're just using this as a term that we use, okay? Every aspect of self gets offered up to be seen through the eyes of truth as divine. You're not offering it to a person. You're not saying I offer this like in some spiritual traditions, you make an offering to a deity, or an offering to God. This could be closer to truth. It is an offering and a willingness to let go of what you have believed about yourself previously so that you can know the truth of who you are. Which is divine, and that divinity can express freely through your physical form and manifest in the world that you see and that you experience. So you may bring the light into the world. And all you're doing is moving aspects of self that have never been in truth out of the way for this light to flow through easily. And we ask that you consider the ways in which you now try to make things happen, and how you fight and picket war and think that you can even advocate through fighting. We understand that you believe that you need to do it like this now, and because it is all that you've known. However, your world requires this realization. Many spiritual traditions talk about enlightenment, and there are many levels, and many levels of like this realization. Is like pulling off strips. So they show me like a pastry that has like many layers, and it's like that. It's this like many layers that are peeled off one by one by one by one by one. And and these layers that are peeled off are different aspects of self that transform, transmute, so the truth may be expressed through you. It's not that you go around expressing truth through your words, although you may. It's more than you going around and Samikia Masokorosho, trying to get everybody to be in alignment with what you believe or be in alignment with truth. It is you, the truth of who you are, Anasikia, being expressed through your physical form or embodied in your physical form. And that is what changes your world. You see, when you take the time to meditate, be present in the present moment, contemplate, the truth of who you are, and meditate, and you take the time to be present in the present moment, you can realize the truth of who you are. It resides here, now, always. And in this realization, small at first, and grows over time, and as you realize this peace, this silence that resides here always, the more that you realize this, the more that you realize it throughout your entire day and your entire life, you start relating to I am, this peace, this silence, rather than I am and all the other words you attach to it now. It doesn't mean you won't be a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, a trushkara. It doesn't mean that. But it means that you no longer identify yourself and give yourself worth or create a victimhood based on the labels that you have given yourself prior. And the ideas that you have, and the ideas and the ways that you have known yourself prior. This is the light that you are, that we wish you to express through your physical form now, and that you wish to express through your physical form. Many of you say that you would like to speak light language, and that you would like to have extrasensory gifts, and channeling, psychic abilities, telepathy, and many spiritual gifts. And so you ask for these and you wish for them. However, what really needs to be understood here is that you may wish for them, but the question is, are you willing? Are you willing to pay the price, the cost? Because there is a cost. It doesn't come from money though. And the cost is, first of all, there needs to be a willingness. And the willingness is to know who you are beyond what you know right now. Beyond the ideas and beliefs that you have known yourself. And the cost is everything that you have built in terms of identity. It doesn't mean you give back your car, you give back your house and you say now, I'm not going to have my car and my house and everything I worked for. No, we're not saying this. What we are saying is your identification with the house, with the car, and in some ways to its necessity as a way to keep you safe. Excuse me. And now we say, yes, of course, a home keeps you sheltered, and so we're not saying, not to have your home. But you even have a lot of false ideas and beliefs what a home is and what a home means. And when you step into the light of being, the light of truth, or more accurately said, you allow that light to come through you freely, clearly. You take, you are willing to take all these other ideas and beliefs and allow them to dissolve as ways of knowing yourself. Which means that there will become a time where you stand and you just don't know, and you must be willing to be in the unknown. Some of you want extrasensory gifts, but you want to control them. In fact, you want them on your own terms. And it is a co-creation. And you must understand that to hold the vibration of truth, you must be willing to let go of the things that are not in alignment with that vibration. It's really that simple. Any of you can do like anything. Like sky is the limit. But you have to be willing. Because if you want to reach the sky, if your aspiration is that high, you cannot continue to cling for dear life to the rock. You get it, right? You can't get up to the sky while you're clinging to the rock. And it cannot be done. So what does it take? And it takes your willingness. You say yes every time that something comes up in your life that is well, all aspects. And they're showing me now. And yes, it is the shame, the guilt, the fear, the worries, but it is also the aspects itself. Like you get a promotion at work and you're like, yeah, I'm on fire. And all right, but also, who is the I? And we're not saying don't celebrate. Yes, you may celebrate, but also it is not a way of creating self-worth. Because promotion or no promotion, you still must know yourself as divine. Because indeed the person that is behind bars, that has done what you would say is committed a horrific crime, is divine. And must be seen as such. No, you may not see him as less than divinity. No, you may not. You can do whatever you want, but this is a prime example and of what we talk about, you see, because you hold much judgment about people and that you may not hold if you wish to allow the divine that you are to be fully expressed through your human form. There's no room for this judgment. So how do you see? Because some of you might be saying now, well, I can't. I just really cannot see the person behind bars that has created horrible conditions for others, who has harmed them, as divine. Indeed they are, dear one. All is. And this is an aspect that you must be willing to offer. And the offering is the aspect of judgment. And so that you will not use this judgment as ways of knowing yourself and knowing others. You see, you know yourself through judgment. Because when you judge another, you actually create not only a relationship with them, you just put yourself behind bars with the prisoner, is what you did when you judged them. Now you're in prison. You are now relating, and you are bound to them, and all that they vibrate at. Understand this, dear friends. The prisoner behind bars, their vibration may be very low, and as you judge them, you energetically have now connected yourself to them. So you're connecting yourself energetically to war, to the paper, to the news. You are energetically connecting yourself to everything. This is the harmonization that we speak of. You are harmonizing with that person in prison right now. So what changes this? You change this. Instead of judging, because the vibration that they hold, you have now, by your judgment, you have a now, like a tentacle, like suction cupped yourself to them. Believe it or not, you literally have these like strings, strings, like tentacles everywhere. And when you judge someone, you plug into like their light socket, and whatever radio broadcast they're on, now you're on it too. Samikia, did you understand that? You're on it too. Samikia, it might be a whisper because you've got like 1,000 different strings, if you would, chords, if you would, that are all over, receiving information, and so this, one prisoner in the jail, might be a really low frequency, like a low, you don't hear it, a low bandwidth, maybe, so you don't hear it, but it's still happening. Still happening. So what changes this? And this goes for everything. Because when you now see the prisoner as divine that they are, you know yourself as divine. This isn't wishful thinking. This isn't trying to make a prisoner and using your mind and fighting back and forth like I can't do it and I really should just think more positive thoughts. No, none of this. And this is stepping into the present moment and being present in the present moment for the divinity that you are to naturally arise, because it is, it's there. As all it requires is you to realize it. You don't need to do anything. Like, it's already there. You don't need to do anything, but just be present. That's it. Be present in the present moment to be aware of the presence. And when you are, and you know yourself, you begin to know, internal know yourself as divine. When you look upon the prisoner, your heart full of love, and you see that they have lost their way, they are divine, that has forgotten they are divine. What they need is to be reminded. They don't need your judgment. That doesn't help. It only strengthens the web. Excuse me. What they need is your recognition of the divinity that they are. That puts that into the field, or the little tentacle we talked about, that puts that out there to them. Now, They may or may not realize it, and that's not your business. Because they may take many lifetimes to realize, but you have put that seed, that vibration into the collective field. Into your own field, and into the collective field. And when it is in the field, which indeed everything is, it can be picked up on. So you have planted a seed, but you have no attachment to it. You don't pat yourself on the back and say, I am such a wonderful person, I planted that seed. No, because you are not the doer. Divine is the doer. Love is the doer. And you don't need any more reasons to create any more attachments and identity. Everything is an offering. If you wish to see the sights before you differently, you may. But you will see them through an inner seeing and an inner knowing. If you wish to step into the light or allow the light of who you are to shine through your physical form, this is your purpose, and allow it to manifest into the physical world. You must be willing to, as we said, know yourself beyond ideas and beliefs that you held previously. And you must be willing to be present in the present moment. This is the only place where you may realize the truth of who you are. And you must be willing to offer all aspects of self, and you must be also willing for your life to change, because your life will change. So like we said, some of you want the gifts, but you want them on your terms, and your life, your experience of life is going to change. And the way that life manifests will change, and it won't always be easy. Because as you endeavor to embody or allow divine that you are to fully embody your physical form, so many things will fall away. And the things that you built, believed, and agreed to previously, you may no longer agree to. And this may cause friction, and will also maybe cause loss. Because it's a loss of identity, because you're willing to die. And you are willing for the ego death. And the ego will fight. It's not going to go down in flames without a fight. They joke, but they say all the aspects of self must be seen and must be brought to the surface, so they can be seen through inner seeing, eyes of love, through love to be transmuted. So this is the healing. This is the healing journey. It's not like out there somewhere, and you can go out there somewhere, you can do whatever you like. It's not like beating the drums and like a spiritual journey, amakarasa, the healing journey, yes, you can do that. Amikanasa, shikara, can do whatever you want. Asiki amakasa, but we say it is through this realization of the truth of who you are, even a little bit, amikanasa koroshkorosenekia amakarasa, and the awareness of asanikia makara, your mind, anisime kena sakara kya sakara, and that you are the realization that you are not your mind, you are not your thoughts, and you are not the ideas and beliefs and the identity that you've created. In this realization, the healing begins. Because then at this point, the aspects of self, the shame, the guilt, whatever aspects of self can now begin to be seen through this space, through the eyes of love, through this amakianasa, through this truth, through this presence. And presence that you are judges nothing. Amasinikia, it's just pure love, you see? And so then these aspects of self are no longer shamed, they're no longer shoved down in the basement, they're all integrated. This is the healing. You are the healer of yourself. Love. That is what you are, and that is what heals. And so this is huge. This is so when you're running around looking for your purpose, yes, you may have many secondary purposes to why you are here in a human form at this time. But you have a primary purpose, and the primary purpose is to know realize the truth of who you are, and the truth of who and what all is. This is the ultimate purpose. And through this realization, everything else happens. And this indeed is how your world changes. You cannot continue to war and picket and fight and every thing like this. It does nothing. And even when you think it does something, take a look. It's the same thing as what it's always been. It's just different, but it's still the same. Because the world is now going to change. And more and more people are awakening to the truth of who they are. And more and more people are willing to let go of the ideas and beliefs that they held previously. And it has already been agreed to at a higher level. Your species is evolving, and the time is here, even though there is no time. Only humans can measure something that doesn't exist at a time. And study it. But we say this for you. The time is here. If you wish to step into the light that you are, express it through your form, you may do this. By your willingness. And your offering of aspects of self, and your true willingness to have the sights before you be changed. Because when you ask for it and you are willing for it, and you are willing to do the so-called work, if you would, which is just being present in the present moment, and saying, yes, I am willing, for the life that I have, Anasime Koroshkoro, to now be experienced differently, Sinikioma Koroshiko, and the ideas and beliefs that I held previously, Anasimikia, I'm willing to let them go, Anasiane Chikaramaya Torokoso, your life will change, Asinikia, and you make room for the light that you are, Asinikioma Karasa, that wants to. We will say desperately. There is no desperation, but we say this for you. As a way that you can understand. With language that you understand. To desperately wants to be expressed through you, because it is you. It's you. This is you. You are this divine light. You are this divine aspect of God. You can call it what you want. We're calling it God right now. You are this divine aspect of this. That wishes to be expressed and manifest into the physical world. This changes your world. You are the change. If you are willing. Okay, and now they wish to do a quick activation. So if you wish for this activation, and if you are willing for the sights that you see, the life that you know to change, if you wish to allow the light that you are to express in through your physical form, manifest into the physical world, and to live as an example, that it can be done. And yes, it can be done. The light of God, which you are a part of, is in everything. And you may bring this into your physical form, into your physical world. And like a transistor radio, you are now like a tower, broadcasting the light of truth. Not by your words, just by your being. Just by your being alive. That's how amazing you are. For anyone that's ever thought that they're not amazing, we say you are. Beyond your imagination, like beyond belief. You are so powerful. You can broadcast love. So strong. Like a big tower. Just spreading it. No words needed. This is how divine you are. It pulls me back. So much energy. Oh, they're sending it out through my heart now. It is this remembrance of who you are also. Okay, let's just, I say it, Yaiso korosho, hamaya trekanasai. Aiso shokanasai trokoso. Aishikorotoso. Aisarai trokoso. Okay. So if you're willing, they're going to bring through this activation now. Asana chiyomakara. They say they've already started. Asio trokanai chiyomakai. All right, then we continue. Atarikya. Otrikia sotorkalanta tishia monono shaya tro I makanaso oka sanatoroko atikia shukuraya toroko otoroko toroko asanikia makarasukuta shaya cut through the heart of the matter atoroshamaya taraka satatasha hi hahasakoto shahahahahasana cut through asanikia the ideas and beliefs amaka that kept you tethered to your three-dimensional experience. Amasi atorosho kesini atoroshkaras. Step into 5D. Anasutri makanaseni chio makarasai shinikiraso. Because indeed you are 5D. Anasio torosha makarasa. You are it. Anishyamaya toroshayamai. Taishokoromaya trai. Asikarasikara. Nothing is outside of you. Never has been. Never will be. Anasanoshamaya toroshaya. Toroshaya mai kaisaya. Shaya kayasaya. Shaya 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 kaya saya 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 Asani atro ai aturko ai anea tai sai sholai anatai oanai tai lai shai sholai shai sho Anatarkia sokoto somiana chai itro itri ai shai olo amaya troko so shilai mai. Soktini, aitini, uktini, aikt shuktai yai. Anatoroko aisektini aitorokai sai. Shiktiri aitoroko sokai laishanatoro. Ayatai shokono asamaya soko ayasalaya sho asaya sho asakano sho. And so it is. Ayakinisi awakinase eshikino torosho. Ayasi ai toai payai kanai so toro. Yi ai ko ai so ai sho ai yo ko o so lo sho lo sho. Okay, I think that's it. Just gonna check in here. Asia toroko amene atro amenai atro amai toroko aisanai atroko anasai etriki anasai shinekia makarasat karaso shomekia masai shikara. All it takes is one mantra. Yes, I am willing. Yes, I am willing. Yes, I am willing. Sanakia makarasa shinikia. I am willing to know. Asinkiana karasakera sakira, what cannot be known through the conceptual mind. Anisina kiana sane shinikiama karasa. I am willing to know myself beyond anything that I believed about myself previously, and Samikia about my world and about others. Anisiana sakara sakara sakara, I am willing to know. And it shall be done in perfect ways. It's not like you will wake up tomorrow with your whole world changed. It is slowly over time, this transmission, these words, this vibration, this activation, is being done in perfect ways for you individually and collectively. And you will always receive and grow, transform according to what is perfect for you. So if you are ever in doubt of your Sinikyama, sometimes people say like their spiritual path. Am I doing it right? Amakiana Sanichikara, we say yes, just be. Anasimikia, that's enough. Anisio Trosho, Amakina Sadika, and be willing to know Asanikia Makarasa Shinikia beyond what you know now. Anisimakara, not intellectually, not conceptually, Nasanichikara, Asanikiana Karasa. Realize, no. Wisdom, no. Anasikya, inner knowing. Inisio troshkarasa, and in this state all is known. Anisio tro. Okay. Is there anything else? Just love. Nisiya tarashaikai. Unikia makaire sikira sokoroshkara. We are so grateful for this opportunity. Amadashikira nata koroshkana karasoto to connect with you. Anasai torokoname atarashkara sadashkorosho, and for your willingness to share your light. Amina tkorasana korasokoroshia karasa tashkara asanikyo mokorosho no chikara tasanikia, because your light is our light. It is one light. One divine light. Is one divine light. To which we are all a part of. And we love you deeply. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this message. I know it was a long one. Thank you so much for sharing this experience with me, and I thank you so much for that. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comments box. And as always, I'm sending you so much love. Thank you.